I should have done. It don't mean a thing what shape or form that you're in, the place you're from, the wealth or the color of your skin. And all you have burns to the sky. It's all too late, and you wonder why. It's a struggle in the stride, but don't you agree? With beating hearts we're still alive. There comes a time when all you have is who you love. All I'm thinking of. It don't mean a thing what shape or form that you're in, the place you're from, the wealth or the color of your skin. And all you have burns to the sky. It's all too late, and you wonder why.
Great to be here on this beautiful, beautiful Moin Day. Got to turn the music down a little bit as usual. Terrific to see all of you here today. Let's see who's here. We've got, Mark Strignell is here. Awesome. We've got Todd Lee is here. Gertrude in the corner. Yes, I had Gertrude in the corner. I should have had her here too, but I'm doing some old school shirt action here today on Lunch Therapy. We used to do a lot more shirt action, and I think now that we've been around for a year, I think we ought to bring that back a little bit. It's very technical to wear a shirt like this, and I'm bringing it. I'm bringing everything I can. I'm bringing everything I can to this show for y'all today. Strangely enough, I don't have a case of the Moin days today. I'm feeling pretty good. Usually Monday can be pretty hard, right? So anybody who's having a hard Monday out there, just, this is the place to chill. This is the place to relax. This is the place to laugh. And, I've been inside for way too long. I'm getting a little bit of the old cabin fever. But, things are looking up. I think maybe we'll be, able to travel more and see one another and do things in the future here. But we got to make sure that we don't drop the ball just as we're running over the goal line. Loretta's here. Holy. Next craze, live shirts. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love this music too. This music is by Halfred, and these visuals are by TAS Visuals. So I don't know. There's a link in the show notes. Hang tight. Keep your head on your neck. We've got some great lunch therapy for y'all this week. I'm going to do some magic. I don't know. Something crazy is going to happen. Last week, we had the incredible entertainer, Pat Cashman from Seattle. If you haven't seen that episode, give it a whirl because he's hilarious and he is a national treasure. There, I said it. He's a national treasure. Today, we're continuing the Seattle theme with comedian Arijana Ramic. She was here on the show back in episode 213, where we spent much of the time bridging the gap between our Seattle histories. And, it was total collapse. Total collapse. There was no bridge between our histories. We did not know what we were talking about. Each person, it was as if they were speaking a different language. I was showing her pictures of beloved clowns, and she was showing me mostly pictures of food. So that's why I brought Seattle food expert on the show, Stewart Keaton. Mr. Stewart Keaton is a longtime friend of mine, and he's also a Seattle and food expert. And I know very little about food. I rarely see it for very long before I snarfle it down, and then I just move on, like a shark. I'm a little like a shark. So let's get on with the show. That up in the corner there is the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. In case anybody doesn't know, collapsed in, 1940. Hey, Guy Fly, how's your eye? I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 Okay, here we are. We are here at the table again, sitting at the table with some giant squirrels. And this is where we're going to do our breathing today. This is a giant squirrel in our backyard. You've seen him maybe on the show before. He is my wife's squirrel friend, Kamala's squirrel friend. He seems like a good guy. I'm a little bit scared because he's eating something bigger than my head. Todd says, I know Joel uses Dove soap because he always dropped it in the shower for some reason. I'm not sure about his shampoo, though. Thank you, Todd, for explaining that. We're going to take in our first breath in through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. That is one big squirrel. Let it go. We're going to be getting to Arijana here soon. I probably should have some music playing, but I've lost control of the entire show. So the giant squirrel has scared me so much that I can't even figure out what happened to the music. So in through the nose, out through the toes. Oh, now I'm on top of him. Mark says his daughter's awake. Let it go. So good to see you here, Mark Strugnell's daughter. This is kind of a kid show, but it's for adults and children as well. Kid show for adults. I hope she's breathing in through the nose, out through the toes. Yeah, what's going to happen to that little pumpkin? Let it go. My hair looks pretty. Thank you. Thank you, Ganel. Better clean it up, Ganel. Exactly. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. We'll get back to this later on in the show to find out what happens to the tiny pumpkin. Let it go. But first, we're going to bring on Arijana Ramic, comedian extraordinaire from Seattle. Here we go. For our first live guest. Ha ha ha, there she is. Arijana, how's it been? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm pretty good. I kind of have a case of the Mondays. I know you said you didn't, but I'm struggling today, so this will be good.
I hear you. Do you, I know as comedians, sometimes we go up and down emotionally, and I think it's sort of a hallmark of a comedian. Do you find that you get that way? Like sometimes you're 100%. Bummed out? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think you're kind of right, though. I think that's for a lot of comedians. Maybe that's generalizing, but I feel like that's true.
It seems to be, doesn't it? What do you do to, if you get yourself in a funk, what do you do to kind of get yourself out of it?
I have to write, to be honest, and just like journal my feelings, go on a walk. I have a playlist called, sorry if there's any kids listening, but the bad bitch music, and I'll listen to that and just remember who I am. And that's really it. So.
Wow, that's cool. Where does the name Ramic come from? Is it Eastern
is
European?
Bosnian. Yeah.
Bosnian?
Yeah, so very spot on. Yeah, it's Bosnian. So I guess technically it would be Ramic, but that's kind of a hard name, I feel, to pronounce.
Ramic?
Mm-hmm.
I can do it. It's just hard when you look at it because you don't think Ramic.
Yeah.
It's like your name. I thought it was Arijana when I first saw it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So were you born there and came here, or were your parents born there?
Well, I was the only person in my family born in the States. So my oldest sister was born in Bosnia, and then my middle sister was born in Croatia, because they were kind of born around the time of the war over there. And then my parents came here, and I was born a year later. So I'm the only one. They call me the American.
You're the American. That's great. Now you and your friends are doing sketch comedy, right?
Yeah. So it's been a little bit on pause, but me and my friend Aisha basically just started doing a bunch of sketches together, and basically doing everything from the production to directing, editing, all that fun stuff. And it's really great because we'll just call on our comedy friends to that. And so it's just called the Aisha and Arijana show, basically
on Amazon, right?
Yeah. So it's on Amazon Prime, which is really cool, and I give all credit to Aisha for making that happen, because it's quite a process to get your show and clips on there, and it has to go through special clearances and all that stuff. So it's very, very cool that it's on there.
Wow. I'm gonna play a clip from one of your shows. I don't know if it's that show or what. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's show a clip from the show.
If you're depressed, why don't you go for a vacation? You can shop more. You can buy a chocolate mousse. I bought a Mercedes last year. I felt so good about it.
Congrats.
Now I'm depressed
So,
because of the payments.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm very confused by your conversation.
Okay, so let me tell you. She thinks it's a good idea to share her problems
Hey,
with a random stranger.
a random stranger.
No,
Yeah.
it's a therapist. Have you never been to a therapist? You know, you go and you kind of,
Therapist,
yeah.
like sex therapist.
No, nothing tantric. It's more just you go and you talk about like your emotional things that are going on.
Emotional?
Yeah.
Like how you feel inside.
Yes.
You tell somebody,
Right.
Yes. Do you not, you don't talk
What?
about your feelings?
and you pay for this.
Yeah.
It's good. You should really go to therapy and try it. It's really nice to just talk things out
So,
to
it's
someone
okay
who's
to
not
have-
involved. Yeah.
where do you go? Is there like therapy.com?
So that's hilarious. I wish I had the laughter. I don't have the laughter. There we go. So you deal with like immigrant issues on the show, right? I mean, like, and the thing is, they then go. You should check this out if you can check that out on Amazon Prime. They go to a therapist, and it's hilarious because none of them get it. Is therapy an American thing or just a European thing, or what?
Yeah, well, when we were brainstorming the idea for that one in particular, so Ash and I both have immigrant parents, and so it was really there's this, I feel like this special level of humor for immigrants, and I think one of that's like everyone knows is that basically immigrants don't really talk about their emotions, and they don't really understand therapy or depression or things like that, and so we were kind of talking about it, and we wanted to bring in a few of our other friends who are immigrants as well and understand that experience. So that one in particular was pretty special to film together, just because we all kind of were bonded by similar upbringings.
Who writes the scripts?
So we basically, for most of the scripts, we kind of outline the major kind of plot points or major jokes that we want to hit or things that we think would be funny, but then we let them improv everything else. So we just basically give an outline and then we set them loose, which is really fun. It's a different skill set from stand-up. So it's kind of fun to just have our friends kind of go wild because it's kind of like riffing with each other on the spot. So
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to I mean, improvisation is super fun, but when you're filming it, sometimes it's more difficult because you end up overlapping one another, and it's difficult to edit. And you've got to really be. It's like playing basketball. You got to really know when to shut up. You know what I mean? Like when to speak and when not to speak. Did you have any of those problems?
Oh, for sure. And I think it took like a few of the first videos to figure out how we were going to best make things more simple to shoot and how to, keep track of the funniest jokes so that we could say, okay, let's cut this piece and this piece together and then just do a run through of the funniest stuff. So yeah, it's definitely more difficult, but I feel like it ends up being a little bit more special just because people kind of get to write their own jokes and have their funny lines end up in the script, which is fantastic.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk about Seattle rain going on in the chat room. And like, why would your family move to Seattle when it's just so rainy? What brought them there?
So this is actually a really funny story. It's a little bit of a longer story, but I'll cut it down just for simplicity. But basically, when the war happened, they kind of had everyone in refugee camps, and my parents were there with my two sisters. And it was supposed to be that families were the first people prioritized for where they were going to be, given amnesty and where they could move. And my parents were like one of the last families there. And so there weren't that many options anymore of where people could go. And Seattle had just opened up that they were going to be taking immigrants, and a church was helping sponsor this and all this stuff. And so I think my parents had a few options. And one of them, I think, was like Germany, but only for like 3 to 6 months. So that would have just not been, feasible. And then I think the other one was like Norway. And my mom was like, I am not going to Norway. Like it is way too cold.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, well, you could go to Seattle. And my parents had never even heard of Seattle. They had no
Really?
idea where it was.
Had you?
And
How? Oh no, you were born here. You were born here. Of course.
and my sisters were like babies, and so my dad like is like, okay, I guess he just asked them, which is actually very sweet. He just said, take me to where it's going to be best for my kids, basically. Yeah. And the person running the kind of program said, okay, we're going to take you to Seattle, and they were like the first family to come here after the war, along with another family that's still here, and the rest of the people on the plane were singles and one-off kind of things. And my dad, I remember he told me this story of like they had no idea where Seattle was, so he took like a ruler and a string and was trying to figure out like, okay, how far away is this place? And he was like looking at a map because he used to work in Algeria, so he like figured out how long it was from Bosnia to Algeria, and then he was like, okay, that's about this many hours, and then he took it and he did it from like Bosnia to Seattle, and he turns to my mom and he's like, I think it's gonna be like a 9, 10, 11-hour flight. Like, I think this place is far away. And my mom was like, you're crazy. Like, I'm sure it's just like 5 hours or something. Like they had no idea where this place was. And my dad was right. So that's one of the only times.
Do they like it in Seattle? I mean, obviously they stayed.
Yeah, they love it. They are like true hardcore Seattleites now. My mom is like the biggest Seahawks fan. My dad says that you shouldn't live anywhere that's not near water. Yeah, I think we're very fortunate to have come to this state out of all places. So,
What is it like being a comedian in Seattle, and how did you decide to be a comedian? Because,
I mean, it's interesting. I feel like Seattle's kind of this nice middle ground for a lot of people because you can still get on stage and do a show every night. It's certainly not as many as like New York or LA or, maybe even Chicago. But it's a great place to do stand-up, and I'm glad that I started with stand-up here because it's been, I've met some awesome people and it's been pretty welcoming in that regard. But I just always wanted to try it, but I think that I didn't really get up the nerve and think like, oh, this is something that I should do until like end of high school, beginning of college. And I basically was just like listening to stand up 24/7. And I had like stopped listening to music, which was crazy for me because that's like my first love. And I was just obsessive over stand up. And I got to try like some comedic acting and I fell in love with it. And I just said, well, stand up seems the most feasible because I love to write and I love being on a stage. And so it's this kind of perfect melding of the two. And so I promised myself when I turned 21 that I would try it. And a week after my 21st birthday, I tried it. And yeah, here I am.
Well, you're quite good. I was going to play some of your act on the show, but I decided to show these clips instead just because they're more.
Yeah, good. It's like so hard to watch yourself. Do you?
It's hilarious. Oh, I know. Well, I don't know. I kind of love to watch myself, but maybe I'm weird.
You're the first person to ever hear say that, which is fantastic.
I used to not like it. I used to not like it, and now I look at it, it's like watching a game film, where you're like, oh, I could have done this, or I need to do this a little differently. Yeah. It just gives me a perspective. But it took me a long time to be able to watch myself, essentially. And
I think that's a good thing, though, because then you're going to be able to, improve yourself and figure out, like, okay, this is what I would change. I think that's a very positive thing, actually.
Yeah. Well, it is. I feel like it is. I don't know. Who knows? Matt Wright wants to know where you went to high school.
Oh, I went to Newport High School, like in Factoria in Bellevue, if anyone knows.
Okay. Mark Stordnell says Seattle's on his bucket list. One day he'll visit. I'm so surprised. He lives in London, but he seems like a Seattle person. He plays a lot of Seattle songs. He's a Seattle Seahawks fan.
I feel like there's a lot of people from like the UK who feel, and even maybe, I guess, like I would say maybe London, and then some people I met in Ireland. I feel like they're very much that Seattle, Pacific Northwest aesthetic. Maybe all the rain as well.
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix said, "I don't want to be buried in Seattle because it's so rainy," and they buried him in London, which is just as rainy, apparently. Yeah. Or no, he said he wanted to be buried in London. My mistake. He said he wanted to be buried in London, which is just rainy. They ended up burying him in Seattle.
Great for him. Yeah.
I know. They didn't listen to him at all. I don't even know why at that age you would even be talking about being buried, but for some reason he knew he was going to go. I don't know. Pretty interesting. That's like a whole other episode of Lunch Therapy that will investigate the death of Jimi Hendrix.
I think that'd be a great episode. Everyone can just talk about their ideal funeral and just.
What would your ideal funeral be like?
Oh, I for sure want full, like, all the bells and whistles. I want it all. I want.
You want like a super duper funeral, like.
Yeah,
like
I want. Well,
epic.
I think that I either want my body donated to science because someone's going to have to study that, or I would like to be cremated. I don't really care about the fanfare of a nice oak box, but I think that I want people to celebrate my life. Like I want there to be dancing and sharing stories, and I want it to be a happy thing, which sounds so weird, but funerals are so depressing. Like
they need to be celebrations. Some people do it right where they have like a whole thing, a whole celebration. But it's hard to celebrate when you're missing somebody, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Greg Wordla says his ideal funeral has clowns, Viking elements, and stopping traffic for hours.
I will not be attending the clown funeral.
The clown. I would like to be painted up. I would like to dress up like Gertrude. Or you can dress my body up like Gertrude.
Very funny because it would be a bunch of sad clowns, which is an incredible image.
Did you ever see the Mary Tyler Moore episode where she goes to the clown's funeral? Like there's a clown at their station, and she goes to the funeral, and she can't stop laughing.
Oh,
totally
I've done that at a funeral. I've done that at a funeral. Yes, it was horribly embarrassing, but I couldn't control it. Like it was me and my sister next to each other, and she just kept dropping this piece of paper, and it just made me lose it. And I just couldn't stop laughing.
It's kind of an acting lesson. I just said super duper, Todd. It's kind of an acting lesson though, because like when you try not to laugh, that's when you start laughing. And it's the same with acting. When you try not to cry, that's when you start crying. We're going to be talking later on in the week with Ivana Chubbuck, who is one of the master acting teachers in Los Angeles and the world. So that topic may come up. I'm not sure. But check it out. So that's a little ad for a future show. Now we're going to watch another clip from your show. Here we go. And you're there too. I'm going to be there as well, just because I can't just leave you hanging.
Yeah, Arnie, it's like, he was really nice, whatever. Like, he would make me lunch, though, for, like, work. And I'm just like, ugh, like, you're not my mom, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, he's too nice. Like, choke me a little, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm not into it anymore.
Well, why don't you just break up with him? I mean,
I'm too nice to break up with him. What about you, though? What about, Daryl?
I've been worried that he doesn't think I'm pretty anymore.
does he not like your Instagrams?
No, he likes my Instagrams, but he wouldn't have sex with me at his sister's funeral.
Okay, that is like so rude. That's like,
I took time off work, I did my makeup, and I know we did sex that morning, but I was looking really good.
Yeah, you have to for a funeral.
You're so about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird that they were talking about a funeral?
I
Like I did not plan that at all.
Oh my god!
They just happened to be talking about a funeral. I thought that was scrumptious because that's the word that I'm going to use now.
Oh my goodness!
That's super fun. So people can watch that there. I'm going to show you. Have you ever heard of the show Almost Live, which was a show? It was a sketch comedy show in Seattle.
Yeah, was it the one that was kind of like the SNL of Seattle? Was that kind of what it was?
It was like the SNL of Seattle. So on Friday, we had Pat Cashman on the show, who was one of the main people in it. So I'm going to show a clip of him doing sketch comedy just because we're talking about it and because it's fun. Oh, and there's Stu. Who's that guy?
Your teachers, your friends. You've heard it all your life.
Stop doing that.
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 But in spite of it all, you've never really been able to stop doing that, have you? But now there's help.
Hello, I'm Dr. Harvey Feenwaber, and I've helped thousands of people to stop doing that. People who've been doing that for all of their lives now no longer do that.
Thanks to Dr. Feenwaber, I've almost completely stopped doing that. Well, I still do that once in a while, but I don't do that as much as I used to.
If you'd like help to stop doing that, send for this informational pamphlet, How to Stop Doing That. Within a few weeks, you'll begin to lose the urge to continue doing that.
But what if I like doing that?
You need to stop doing that. Send for this pamphlet, How to Stop Doing That. Box 10590, Grand Central Station, New York. Not affiliated with Stop Touching That, Stop Picking at That Thing, and Stop Making Those Noises.
That's hilarious. Okay. I have now shown Stewart. It's a teaser, I think. This is my question about that. Do you ever think that perhaps you might want to have like a sketch comedy show on local television? Because it seems like, and a lot of great like sketch comedy people came out of this thing, like Joel McHale and Bill Nye the Science Guy and lots of people like that.
Yeah, I would love that. I think about that actually a lot, and I wish that it would, maybe come to fruition a bit more, maybe once kind of COVID clears up and stuff. But I feel like there's, I guess, this like pipeline where I feel like if you're able to write sketches and express that skill and do characters and try different things, I feel like you get more opportunities in comedy. I mean, we've seen it with like SNL, right? But yeah, I think that would be awesome. I would love that. It's really, I love stand-up, but I love doing the sketches because I get to collaborate with people more and to work with people more. And there's something really special about building something with a group of people versus when you're doing stand-up, it can get kind of lonely. So it's just nice. So it's nice to have that kind of aspect of like, okay, we're all trying to work towards the same thing.
Yeah. All right, so now I am going to bring on Stewart, who is our food person. We're going to get into the food portion of the show. Everybody's always asking, where's the lunch on this show? And there's never any lunch. My sidekick, Boney, the skeleton, he's just wasting away, so there's no food. So now we're going to bring on the food master. So I'll bring you back on, Arijana, and we're gonna play a little food game. So let me bring on Stu and just see what he's up to. Stu, yay! I wish I had my applause is not functioning today. It's drum roll, ladies and gentlemen. Stewart Keaton, yes, and here he is. My sound effects are terrible. There's a better one. Stewart Keaton, hey, it's great to see you. How are you doing?
Hey Joel, what's up? Good to see you.
Looking good. You're up in Seattle.
Yes.
How is it?
In Magnolia, Seattle right now. It's actually pretty sunny out.
Yeah.
But it's like 45 degrees, so it's pretty chilly in the shade.
Wow. Wow, that's cool. So you've been doing a food blog called Stew's the Beef. Stew's the Beef.
Yes.
What does that mean, Stew's the Beef? Is there only beef on the thing? Is it related to the old phrase, where's the beef?
Yeah, I mean, there's a long
something that Mary
lineage.
Tyler Moore used to say, where's the beef? I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I've probably only watched like 3 Mary Tyler Moore episodes in my entire life.
Yeah, she never said, where's the beef?
So
So you know.
She never said that, but I wouldn't know that.
No, you wouldn't.
My friend came up with it. We were brainstorming every time we'd hang out, trying to come up with a name for my blog.
Yeah.
And I was in high school called Beef Stew. Like a lot of people called me Beef Stew because my name was.
Because you were delicious. You were delicious.
Just so delicious.
Meaty.
Yummy. Little snack. But it stuck, the name. And so I don't know, we were probably drunk or something, but my friend came up with Stew's the Beef. And it just I just liked how zany and weird it was, and it didn't really make any sense.
No.
If you think about it.
I love it.
It makes no sense. But if you read it really quickly, Stew's the beef, you kind of don't question it, maybe.
Yeah.
It's kind of like beef stew, or I don't know.
And after a while, when it becomes an ordinary household word, Stew's the beef. When people are like, hey, did you check Stew's the beef today? It's nothing. You don't think about it anymore. Like Tom Cruise, when I first heard that name, I was like, Tom Cruise? That seems like, you know what? That seems kind of ridiculous for, you know, if you're an action person. You know, Tom Cruise, you made that name up. Or Johnny Depp. It sounded like some kind of, I don't know, hair product or something like that. But now I don't think about it. I don't think it's weird at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a brand.
It's a brand. There's probably other weird brands out there that when we first heard it, we're like, you can't call it that. And then now you just say it all the time. You just say it like lunch therapy. Like, you can't call it that, lunch therapy. And now you're just like, what's on lunch therapy today? I got to get my lunch therapy. Okay, speaking of lunch therapy, we are now going to have some lunch. We're going to go into the game now, the restaurant game. I'm going to bring on Arijana, and we're going to test, because it seems that people of your generation all are just interested in food. That's like it, right? Just food.
We like to eat.
Yeah, you're in the right business, I'll tell you that. All right, so let's get into our food thing here. Let's bring Arijana back on. I had no idea what this scene was going to be like, and I'm very pleased. There's snow, there's you both, y'all, and now let's get into the game. Let me make sure that it's actually going to occur properly. Yes, there it is. Okay, so this is a game. It is called the Seattle Restaurant Guide Game. And because both of you are extremely knowledgeable about Seattle restaurants, I have had you give me pictures of some of your favorite dishes. And so I'm going to show a favorite dish of one of you, and the other one has to say where it's from. Okay? And the winner gets a Lunch Therapy t-shirt. Okay? I just want to see the comments because they're so distracting. I have no idea. Oh, we're talking about Stew here. Obviously, his lovely mother gave him his hair. Holy shit, he looks like Brian. Who's this Brian guy? I don't know. Sorry, Mark's daughter. Oh, like Hot Pockets. Yeah, we're going to show Hot Pockets. Stew's definitely the beef. There we go. So here we go, Stew and Arijana. Get ready. So when I show the picture, the person has to say, that's my picture. And then the other person says, oh, that's, and then you'll just say the restaurant. Because I know you're going to get all of these right. So here we go. Okay, this is Arijana.
Yeah.
Stew?
Okay, I see like some rice for sure, like a plate of. And it looks like it has some orange in it, so I think that's probably from a Middle Eastern or like Indian culture, possibly.
Yeah.
The red thing dish, that kind of looks Indian to me. And then I guess now that I look at it, so does that. The bread kind of looks like naan. So I'm going to say this is probably an Indian restaurant somewhere, but I don't know where.
You don't know where? No.
Oh, man.
I think that if you knew where, that would be really.
Can you give him a hint?
It is in the U District.
Okay, that's a big hint.
Ooh.
But there's so many Indian restaurants in the U District.
I don't think I can get the restaurant specifically, but there are so many.
Okay, I'm going to show it because I think we've given you enough time.
What's the name?
I like the way Stew was going through it like he was, I don't know, reading your fortune or something, or reading tea leaves, or talking to the great beyond. I see some bread. I see some. We see it too, Stew. We see it. Cedars.
You gotta get there, you know?
Cedars. Have you heard of Cedars?
I'm my Cedars.
Here, that's a hospital. That's a hospital. So we don't go there to eat. Generally.
That's Cedars Sinai.
Cedars Sinai. Oh. Cedars. Have you been there, Stu?
No, I've never heard of that place.
You gotta go there.
The U District, the food scene there is fantastic. And there are so many places to eat. So I always get kind of overwhelmed when I'm there.
When I was going to college,
But
all we ate was like McDonald's in the U District. It was like, that's all we ate. Like, there were restaurants. I guess we just didn't have money to go to restaurants, right?
Yeah.
Actual restaurants.
I mean, I went to McDonald's in college, but now the whole Ave is lined with crazy Chinese food and Korean food, and there's a ton of Indian options. Those kids are eating well now.
They're eating well. Well, because you guys are all into food. That's the thing, is we were just not into food. You're all into it. When I was in the U District, it was all clowns. Just clown stores everywhere. You could buy the big shoes. You could buy the makeup. That's what we had. Kamala says chicken tikka masala stew.
Yeah.
So, actually, I
that's
think
embarrassing now. I apologize.
Well, no, I think that on their menu they have a different dish called butter chicken, and I think that's the one shown here. But I don't think you would necessarily find that in it. I think it is like it's technically chicken tikka masala, but they kind of call it something different. And I think that sometimes that sauce is like a little bit browner, depending on the Indian place that you go to. So
they should have another blog called Stews the Chicken Tikka Masala.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's popular.
It'll be the more vegetarian leaning.
Okay. All right. We're moving on now. Ariana's going to be on the spot here. Okay, Ariana.
Okay.
So this is my pick.
There's so many ramen places is the thing. Okay. Is this maybe on Cap Hill though?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm not going to know the name off the top of my head.
Good guess. Smart guess.
There was a really, really good ramen place that I went to. And I think it was like, I don't remember the cross street, but I think it was kind of close to like Rachel's Ginger Beer. Is that like, am I at least anywhere in the vicinity?
I'm trying to think, where's the Rachel's Ginger Beer in Capitol Hill?
Okay, it's on one of the streets.
Jack, they've got some very intense ramen in Seattle, I'll tell you. He says it doesn't look like the ramen he eats.
It's like on 12th and by Cal Anderson. Like, is this pretty close to Cal Anderson?
This is pretty close to Cal Anderson. This one is on, can I give her a hint?
Yeah, hint time.
Okay, it's on Broadway.
Okay.
If that helps you.
All right, this is not, you're not getting it, but you were close. She had the dish.
I feel like I would have
She had the location.
Impressive.
That's pretty impressive. I think Ariana's winning so far. Oink! Ramen.
Okay.
Capitol Hill, Seattle.
Wow, that was delicious.
I'll give her the point.
All right, we'll give her. She's
So
winning
generous.
so far. All right, so this is one of Ariana's dishes. She did not make it, but it comes from a fabulous restaurant, which we will not disclose the location nor the name.
This is hard.
Okay,
this is hard. I know. My quizzes are hard, I think.
Definitely Thai food.
But
This
you
looks like some
did.
classic Seattle Thai grubs.
Close enough. Yeah.
Okay. This could be.
So
this
I'll
could
give
be
you
like. Okay.
They have multiple locations. It's not a chain or anything, but they do have multiple locations. There's one here on the east side. There's one in Seattle. I think there might be a third one somewhere, but it's not like a random hole in the wall. Like, I'm not that cool to know all the cool Thai places. This is hard.
That's good. There are a lot of Thai places in Seattle too. You're picking all of our best cuisines too.
Jacob Martin believes in you, Stewart.
I got this.
Uh-oh. Is this like somebody giving it away?
Someone got it right.
That's somebody who got it right?
That's so awesome.
Todd got it. Todd wins.
Oh, no. Is that the place that that's in like Pacific Place, right? It's in like the top floor of Pacific Place or something.
Can you
right?
believe it? Todd got it. Wow. That's pretty incredible.
Nice job, Todd.
very well could be. I know they like remodeled that area, but I always go to the one by my house.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. There's just something about the one by my house where it's like I love Thai food, man, and I think it's some of the best Thai food. I'm sure like people will be like, no, you have to go to the International District or something, but it's so good. Like it's really amazing.
All right, we're moving on.
That
was pretty darn good.
was
Todd
hard.
gave you the
gave me
lifeline,
some
I
hard
guess.
ones.
Yeah.
So now we know it's a race against the chat room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here's another one with an egg in the middle for Jack Does. Jack says Dick's doesn't sound like it's about food. Dick's Drive-In.
Okay, I'm gonna guess that just because is it Skillet? Like, is that what it is?
Oh, I love that place. No, it's not Skillet, but very good guess.
Okay.
That place is always so busy. I never get to eat there.
We have a question from the audience that says, have you ever been to Ayutthaya? The drunken noodles are the best in Seattle. Anybody?
Yeah.
I'm going to make note of that.
Is that in Capitol Hill? Ayutthaya?
I don't know. So have we decided what this is? Lynn says hi, Stu.
I'm
good guess.
Like, I'm kind of going to guess it's some sort of scramble in some, I don't know, in some type of fat, like the animal fat or something.
Stu, on your blog, you're always talking about fat and like where to get more fat. What's up with that? Is that marketable, really? Telling people where to get more fat?
That's what they need, man. Fat is love.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it bad that I don't even know like exactly what it is?
This is a hard one, man. I would have picked a way easier.
Kamala says she thinks it's Korean.
It's close. We're getting close.
Todd Lee says Denny's Grand Slam Skillet.
Should I give a hint? I'm trying to think.
I think it's the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get this.
Moon over Miami?
Oh, we're getting close. It's on Beacon Hill.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever go there. Ever.
See, I love Beacon Hill. They have great food. Okay, well, did someone get it in the chat?
No one's gotten it. No one's gotten it. Okay, we're going to have to reveal. Drum roll, please. Here's the drum roll. Well, faint drum roll. Musang, Beacon Hill, Seattle. Have you heard of it, Ariana?
No, but that looks really good.
It does look good.
So
it would kill me.
Joel,
I think I'd have a heart attack if I ate that.
Joel, you might die if you
might die if I ate that.
Even if you took a bite.
I think so. Even just a bite.
This dish is pork head. It's like scraped out of the pork.
No.
And
so
then
I was right
serve
about the fat.
Oh yeah, I knew it was
you were
fat
right about the fat.
Pork
and
head?
You can put the egg, and they serve it on a skillet, and it comes out sizzling, and you mix up the whole egg and the.
You people are disgusting. Eating pork head.
That's so intense. Like this seems like it would kill someone.
That would kill me instantly. Instantly. Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got going on. That's great. That's great, Stu. Don't eat too much. Don't give that to your dad. Forget it.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So here's a place. This is the thing about Ariana. She likes to look at buildings. Last time she had this beautiful building with all these flowers on it. Now she's got this other one. Is this actually a restaurant?
I just ate here for the first time like 2 days ago. And I was so confused about the whole situation because it like looks like a house, but it's really amazing. It's in Georgetown.
Okay, so is this right off the entrance to the 5 freeway in Georgetown? Do you know? I just saw this the other day.
I think you have to go. I'm trying to remember exactly where it was, but it is really, really close to the freeway. But I think you go on Airport Way, and then it's like right off of that. Yeah.
Okay. But it's in Georgetown. Okay. I don't know many of the spots in Georgetown, honestly.
Georgetown, isn't that in Washington, D.C. or something?
It's everywhere.
So that's the thing. I moved away. I was in Los Angeles for 7 years, and I came back, and there's this whole Georgetown scene going on
heard of
with
that.
foodie, restaurants.
Patios.
It's
Really?
Amazing.
popping. Yeah, patios. So this looks insanely like this looks otherworldly to me. I've never
Yeah.
eaten here. What is it?
So-
you want
This is like fancy, I will say, but I took my friend here for her birthday, and it's called the Corson Building, and you basically, it's like eating in a secret garden. It was so beautiful. And the food was like so good. It was so good. But yeah, I think it's like new American style food, which maybe you can tell me what that means, because I never know when I see a restaurant that says new American. But it's really delicious.
The chat room's going crazy for one thing because Stu said the 5, which is totally not allowed in
Very
Seattle.
LA.
You can say it in LA, but for some reason it's just utterly offensive to people in Seattle. You cannot call it the 5.
It feels wrong to say I-5 now, though. I'm so sorry, chat room. I apologize.
It's one of those things that is just like gets people hopping mad. It's like saying Oregon.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not doing that.
Or Spokane or something. For some reason, the 5 is just. And if you said I-5 down here, people would be like, "What? What are you talking about?" So that's pretty interesting. Kamala says 7 years. You were here for 7 years. That's unbelievable. It doesn't seem like 7 years. Anyway, let's move on. Do we name what this place is called?
Yeah, the Corson. Corson.
Corson.
Corson.
There it is. The Corson building.
Yo, I'm gonna have to go there. That looks absolutely.
Jack is irate. Is irate. Jack Franklin, he's in Montana, and he's just pissed about the 5 thing. Even in Montana, they're mad. And Todd says, "Are you sure it's even a restaurant? Maybe you stumbled into somebody's house."
I walked in, I thought I was at the wrong place. So yeah, you're 100%. It could have been.
We did that. We were on a hike, and we were in Hawaii, and we were like lost, and we went in, and Todd Lee was there, and we went into this little house, and we go in there, and Gordy Wall's like, "Can we get some hot chocolate or something?" Because they thought it was a place, where you get hot chocolate or a restaurant, and it was somebody's house. And they were just looking at us like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?
Brilliant.
Please get out." Too funny.
That's what happened here with Ariana. She just walked into this house.
She walked in this beautiful house. They were like, "Well, I guess we should serve her some food." I don't know.
Yeah.
Georgetown Steam Plant.
Okay, I feel like you possibly know this one.
Ooh, yes. Okay, so this is really big in Seattle. This style of noodles, I feel like.
Yeah.
So this is there's like a few places it could be. I'm thinking it's either on Capitol Hill, it's like Bang Bang Noodle, or there's one in the U District that I think is kind of like a little micro chain. And I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's like Jian noodles or something like that.
What? He got it.
Jian?
I was almost asleep during that part, but I think you got it. You totally got it.
No.
It's like a tie now. It's a tie, right?
Okay, very nice. Very nice.
Right, that's good.
Have you been there before and had these?
Well, my friend went to the UW. She told me about all these places with this style of like, it's like a really thick, wide noodle, right?
Yeah, hand pulled noodles, and they're just so like luxurious to eat. Like it's such an experience because they have like the marinated lamb, and it's just so good. Yeah.
I haven't been to this place, but I've been to Bang Bang or whatever, and I think they're similar. Probably, I'm not totally sure, but it's very luxurious.
Yeah, it's
like Chinese lasagna. Is there pork head? Is there any pork head in there? Do they scrape any pork head in there?
If there's no pork head, I'm not interested if there's no pork head.
Oh my god. Stew, it should be called Stew's the Fat.
Stew's the Fat.
All right, quickly, we're going to do a Los Angeles restaurant guide. I know this is not fair to Ariana because she's only spent very little time in Los Angeles, but this is a dish that Stu gave me. We're just going to say what it is. You're going to tell me what it is, right? Galtong chicken.
Okay,
this is Koreatown, Los Angeles. This is a good place. This looks like another heart attack.
So I don't know if you know, but there are more Korean fried chicken restaurants in Korea than there are McDonald's in the entire world.
What?
So,
what? Wait, you just blown me away with that one. That can't be. Is that true?
Where are my fact checkers? Get my fact checkers.
Get the fact checkers on it, man. Where's that fact checker?
That's probably BS. But anyways, this is the hottest Korean fried chicken place in Koreatown, and it's opened by this cult film director, and his name is like Kil Chae Jung or something, and all he makes is fried chicken. Wow. And you got like some chilies, and there's like pineapple in there.
That's all it is, pineapple.
Absolutely crazy. But
I feel like Koreatown has some of the best food though. When I was in LA, I felt, I don't know, maybe you know more than I do, like what neighborhood, but I felt like I always ate real good in Koreatown.
Yeah.
Jacob Martin says, fact check, Stewart is looking hella cute with that mustache. I see jalapenos. Okay, we're moving on now. Moving on because the show is...
hair compliments except for me. Like, should I be offended?
I know, really. You pulled your hair back, so I don't know. I guess I can't see your hair. All right, this is mine. It's mine. Stu, you know what this is?
Okay. It looks like it's a Chinese restaurant for sure. Are we in Chinatown?
No.
Are we in San Gabriel Valley?
No.
Oh, man.
So let me tell you a little story about this. There was a play called Hurly Burly, and I did like a scene from it in college or whatever, and they kept talking about Mr. Chow's, Mr. Chow's. Oh, I just said the name. I ruined the whole thing. They kept saying, hey, we're going to get some Mr. Chow's, Mr. Chow's, Mr. Chow's. And I was like, I got to go to Mr. Chow's. And apparently, like, you know, rock stars go there and things like that. So I got Kamala to take me there for my birthday. And we didn't know what to order. And so the waiter said, I'll order for you. And we were like, okay. And he ordered for us. And the bill was $400. And we didn't have a lot of money. We were like paying that off like a year.
It looks amazing, but I hope that was the best meal of your life.
Oh my God. We brought our own cake and they wanted to charge us $40 just to cut the cake. So we were like, forget it. But anyway.
Is it on La Cienega or where is it?
It's in Beverly Hills. It's like a famous Mr. Chow's, Mr. Chow's, Mr. Chow's. I just, I blew it. But there's the play Hurly Burly. They talk about Mr. Chow's. Do you want to go to Mr. They get in this huge fight about where they're going to go to the restaurant, and Mr. Chow's is the place. Anyway, moving on. Oh, I blew that one too. Maury's Bagels, Silver Lake. I just don't know where that is. Bagels in Los Angeles?
This is the thing. I don't know if anybody saw the New York Times article recently.
Oh my God, it was $790. Just sorry, the actual bill was $790. She didn't even tell me until now.
I mean, I don't mind spending money on food at all. Okay, that's crazy.
Oh my God. Anyway, there you go.
Did you get drinks?
Did we get drinks? I don't know. I don't think so. We were just like, we don't know what to order. So the guy got us like duck and all this stuff. We didn't even eat duck. I don't know. It was terrible. It was a terrible thing. Anyway, so Maury's Bagels, please make me forget.
Yes. So just the bagel culture in the whole West Coast has been crazy the past few years. Seattle and Los Angeles and San Francisco just have all these like amazing options for bagels. So there was a recent New York Times article that proclaimed California as the bagel capital of the country, and all these New Yorkers went off.
Nuts.
I agree with the New Yorkers. I feel like that's a
Everybody knows they have like special water there, and it's like,
yeah.
I'm not saying anything against it. I just thought it was very.
What is it, like a green tomato and some capers? Come on now.
Well, so there are very good places now in Los Angeles. We're not talking New York level where you can go and just walk out to any bagel shop and get something good.
Yeah.
But there are a few places that have actually made it, kind of worthwhile to eat a bagel in LA. And I think this place is kind of special.
All right. Well, that's good to know. Okay, here's mine. Well, this is the last one.
Oh, okay. This looks like...
Oh, I think I know where this is.
Really?
Is it the rotisserie?
It is a rotisserie chicken place.
Restaurant, right?
It is a very, very popular. When I moved to LA, this was like a hole-in-the-wall place, but there was just a line like around the block. And
is it pollo a la brasa?
Nope.
Oh, man. I'm
surprised there isn't one in Seattle by now.
Does it have
Oh.
I'm going to give you a hint. This is going to totally throw you off because it means nothing to you. Ah, yes. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Okay.
You know the song. Zanku chicken. It's the best chicken. It's the best chicken in the whole wide world. I made that song up, though.
A very popular, a famous murder happened at a Zanku Chicken, if you don't know.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. I know about the owner. Is that what you're talking about?
I think it is one of the main ones. Like, I don't remember.
Probably that one. Tell me.
The East Hollywood one is an absolute dive. It's gross.
Okay.
It's delicious.
Maybe that's why people stopped going
So
there.
tell us about the murder.
Well, I actually got to hop very soon.
You do?
But basically, if I'm remembering correctly, I think that an employee killed another employee.
There is a very, very intense story. I think there will someday be a movie about Zanku Chicken.
Someone is trying to make a movie or something about it, based on it, or something like that. But yeah, it was pretty sent shockwaves through LA apparently.
Definitely. So we'll save that for another day because we've got to go. Because I just realized we're like way out of time. This food thing got me all crazy. Ariana, you can drop off because she has a hard out at 1. That's how we say it here in Los Angeles and in Seattle. All right, great seeing you. We're gonna do the dance break. Hopefully Stu will dance with us here. All right, so here we go. Dance break time. We're just gonna have to do this on our own. There's the crow. I'm going to bring Stu back on. So let me there's 2 of me now, and then there's 1 Stu in a second. So
are we dancing?
Yeah, we're going to dance. I hope you're ready to dance because we are going to dance.
I've been ready all day.
Okay, good. This is just I just wanted to complete the saga of the tiny pumpkin, which some people know as an orange. But let me see if I can cut us to the chase here, because I wanted to see what happened to the orange. And we're gonna see in a second. Here it goes. Get ready. Wait for it. So we've got a dance break coming on. On Friday we have Ivana Chubbuck is going to be on Lunch Therapy, who's like there it is. Greatest it's gone. You looked away and it's gone. So let's just dance break. Let's dance our way out of here. It's time for the dance break. Joel, you look like a hobbit at a table. I know. I need some what do they call it? Tea cakes or whatever they eat. Tea cakes and beer. Anyway, let's get on with it. Dance bumper. Here we go.
Hi guys, my name is Michal and I'm going to be performing a cover of I'm Yours by Jason Mars. Enjoy.
Stu likes the song, I'm sure of it. It's a little ukulele music. I need a pipe, yeah. So she's got a YouTube channel in the Michal. Probably spelled her name wrong.
Get back before the cool down run out. I'll be giving it my best. It's nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. Reckon it's again my turn to do some or learn some, but I won't.
We never got to the prairie dogs today. We never got to the wormholes. Same for another day. Thanks everybody for being here. I love a good uke. It's a nice song. How does she spell her name? I think that's how she spelled her name. Let me make sure.
Open up your plans and damn, you're free. Look into your heart and you'll find love, 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 love. Listen to the music.
There's a link in the show notes. Yeah, that is.
Hi guys, my name is Michal and I'm going to be performing a cover of I'm Yours by Jason.
All right, thanks Stu for being on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Joel.
Thanks for everybody being here. Food is a big thing. Food's important. What'd you say?
I just said thank you to the chat room.
Thank you to the chat room. Thanks everybody for joining us here. This was fun. All right, that's the end. See you all on Wednesday for more lunch therapy.